Hi, everybody. Welcome to Kink Talk. Fred.
Hey,
Hey, Fred.
what's going on?
Nothing much. I miss Fred.
Oh yeah, Fred been gone for a little while. Gotta,
Fred been missing from me.
yeah, Fred been gone for a little while. Oh, phew. I'm gonna be back at it soon though. I got some stuff in the weights.
Yeah. So, how's everything going?
It's going all right. Project getting back started, but just
You
trying to
know,
get back going.
I don't think y'all have ever seen me in stripes, which is hilarious.
I thought you had a video with some stripes on.
I might have. A
Like
lot
like you
of
went
y'all
like
be.
you went out or something.
You talking about when I was at Top Golf?
I don't know. I know you was out. I think he was out when I saw it. I
I
might
know.
be tripping. Blame my head, not my heart.
It's okay. It's all right. So, let me turn this down. First of all, while we waiting on everybody else to come on in, first of all, I want to know what is one of your favorite kinks?
I don't know. Believe it or not, that's a difficult one. I
I
don't know.
know, I know, I know.
Hmm. I really don't know. Well, when I say giving out punishments, that's probably one of my where I
So
can,
you're like
I
more impact play,
yeah, but it's not
or
as rough. It's more, it's just like the general dom stuff. But I'm gonna get to you. That's the thing. It's not gonna be regular, and then
Mhm.
what leads from there leads from there. But
I asked one of my partners today. He was like his favorite kink was being prime in his primal stage, and I was like, you know, um, I believe because he never got to do that without being judged.
mm,
I was like, okay. I realized that a lot of people do not feel comfortable exploring their kinks because they have been judged and to be called weird. And
oh
I
yeah,
was like, oh, that sucks ass. Which is not a good thing. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's
Um,
a fact though. It's a fact.
yeah, well we know that, especially being
Yeah.
part of two of the communities, we get a double time and then some.
Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah.
Hmm.
Oh hell yeah. I walked in somebody live,
Uh,
mutuals live, and they in there all having fun and shit. Everybody being flirty and all that shit. So I just said, I ain't. Somebody said something about they like men with a bald head. I was like, I'm gonna shave my head tomorrow. Just being goofy. And
Right.
now she know me. She been following me forever. She know I'm polyamorous. All this. First thing out her mouth is, "Won't you have a wife?" And then live, this big creators live in front of all these people, like I'm just this immoral person. I'm like, yo, I'm poly. So I put in the chat, I'm polyamorous. I know, but I'm not looking for. I don't want you. No, that's the thing. I don't.
That
I'm
was
a whole
never.
demi.
That was never the.
We all just having fun. I thought we was. Then they went to a whole rant about triads and all this. I left. I just told somebody to get up out of here. I'm done.
You know what makes me upset just a little bit. Excuse me, a lot of bit. I was invited to a live the other day, last week, and I got the live sent to me like 4 times. When I got in there, I was already exhausted. I was like, okay, I see what we're dealing with. So I get in there. Not only do I have a misogynistic man, but I got a Bible thumper. I said,
Oh man.
no, and I stayed in there for like 2 hours, and I was just like, y'all didn't learn a damn thing that I said because you don't want to.
Right.
You
They got
don't. You
their
don't
own.
want to.
Got their own ideas of what it should be, and they never work. Like if you've been trying all, if you claim you've been trying all this time and it's not working, try. It's time to try something different. It's just. I don't know if you if you part of that Black and Poly group on Facebook.
No.
That shit is terrible. Oh my
After
god.
you said the experience you had with groups, I don't want to do that.
Oh god. Yeah. I haven't been back posting anything.
I don't want to do that. I actually really spoke to my ex husband today, and he was talking to me about some things, and he was like, "I saw some poly lives." He was like, "That's not how my ex wife explains it." And one thing I know about her, she's smart as hell, and she gonna do her research. That's not how that works. I said
Hmm.
he may not be poly, but I said, "Fucking right."
Hmm.
I taught you something. I taught you something, like
Hmm.
because I was like, "What the fuck is this?
Like I said,
What is this?" I'm not
I can't
okay
do
with
that.
this. I see. I knew I felt weird. I don't have my nose ringing. Hold on.
Uh-uh.
You got it. Hold on. Rocco should be on the way in a little bit. Yeah, it just be it's very infuriating, honestly. Um, got some questions that we're gonna answer in a little bit. Gladys will be here in a little bit too. I figure if I ever get my nose pierced, I'm gonna look real cute. Um, but I saw some reactions to the games that you were playing and suggesting to people, and I'm
Hmm.
like, okay, I like these. You know what I mean? It's a lot. What I find, which is very disheartening, is that a lot of people see it as one way, and it's not that way at all. To be in the BDSM community,
Hmm. Right.
very sad to see people be like, "Oh, it's this way," and it's like, who told you that?
Yeah. Yeah. Before looking
Who
into
told
it,
you that?
yeah, for like all I thought it was beating, hitting, and I'm like, it took years ago when I was learning. I'm like, I want to see what this is about, especially when I really start diving into the polyamorous community, seeing like every other person was okay with a kink or had some kind of kink, and
Yeah,
so I started looking up stuff, and I'm just like, oh, I can do this, I can do that,
yeah,
and then you know being together with my wife for 10 years, you gotta try different things, spice things up, have some fun.
mm.
Always have some fun.
The
Play games
funny,
at home, games outside, have games that lead on to the night. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Do all kinds of stuff.
The funny thing is, I asked the question. I said, "Who in here likes to be choked?" They was like, "Me, me, me." I was like, that's funny.
Uh-huh.
You don't even know what you're engaging in. You don't even know that that's part of our community. But you would. be so easy to demonize it.
All
You
right.
like to be spanked? You like your ass popped? Oh, you do now.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. It doesn't always include a tool. You can do it with your hand. I said,
Exactly.
y'all, I said, what y'all have always seen is the extremes. It has
Exactly.
always been the extremes
Mm-hmm.
of it has to be this way. And it's like, no, there's levels to every kink. Like I said, okay, who likes it? Who in here likes squirting or to be squirted on? Several hands raised. I said, oh, so you like liquid play? I have blown their minds now. Oh,
Uh-huh.
but she was so quick to say I was wrong. But half of y'all are, and more than half of y'all are engaging in the things that y'all would say would be wrong.
Yeah.
That's the
Yep.
that's the crazy thing.
That is a fact.
It,
That is a fact.
it's like, mm. Y'all don't even know what y'all be doing sometimes, and most of the time y'all just be like, well, I gotta be tied up and this and that and the third.
Yeah. Hmm. They gotta
That's
be hanging
very
from the
exhausting in
ceiling and some
itself.
shit. No, no. My partner down in Mississippi, like
Hmm.
he, we had like conversations over the phone, and she didn't know that she was into certain things, you
Okay.
know, until I gently introduced them. So
Hmm.
like one time I called her princess, and she was just like, it didn't make me feel bad. Like it made me feel something. It wasn't bad though. I'm just like, oh, okay. And then later on, good girl. And she said
Mm.
we was on the phone there. We was actually FaceTiming, and I could see her whole face just turn red. Her cheeks is. I'm like, oh,
Oh,
okay. You
got a
got a good
praise
girl,
king.
King. Yeah, that's what I said. I told her she got a praise king. She's like, I'm not. I don't got no praise. Like you have a praise king. She's like, I won't. She finally admitted it to me. And she was just. She's like, I'm not. She's like, you bring this up again, I'm gonna deny it forever. But yeah, I have a praise king. My look. So I'm like, yeah, I
Well,
just have.
why she felt the need to deny it?
She look at how her ex cheater, her
Okay.
baby dad, and
Hmm.
how he even continues to the day to gaslight her and stuff.
Okay.
Like he he will cause instances, and then she's the problem. Anything happens.
Mm.
So I was like, so she sometimes she's reserved. She's much more open. We talked for a while now, but
Yeah.
she's much more open to stuff. I I talked her through some things. Just over the phone, and she didn't know that she can just off of voice. She knows she can just go ahead and come just by talking to me and get into that. And I
You do
say
the
what she
talk
want.
through.
Mm-hmm.
You do the.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Put the voice on and go in. You know. And then
Okay.
and once I know, she tell me enough about her. She told me so much about her. I'm like, okay, I know what she want to be kissed at. So I just be, yeah, I'm gonna start from the neck, and then she be like, right here, I'm like, point right there, and I move your hand down, and I talk you through it, and then this is where I'm at, so you can feel me. I do my thing. Like I'm good with the words. I'm good with the words.
I love a good talk through. I love a good talk because
Hmm.
if you can talk me through
Oh yeah.
and don't
I was about to touch you, and she said it. She's like, I know it sounds weird, but I miss your
it
touch, and I
don't
ain't even feel
though.
it yet. That's what she
If
said. She's like, I miss your touch, but I ain't even touch you yet. And I was like, I
if
feel
you
it.
can do a good talk through,
Hmm. I did a text through with my other partner. One night,
I, oh, if we,
I did a text through.
sir,
Well, yeah, I did a
my
text
good
through.
sir, my good sir, if you could do a text through,
Oh yeah, text through, and then send pictures, videos, and while all thing going on, I got all these ring lights and all these shit. Let
listen,
me
let
get
me
the
tell you something.
DSLR out.
I am not someone that could be text through too easily.
Oh,
If you
cause
can get a text through,
shit. How many people crying and stuff off this book, off this damn book? Like, I can make people feel emotions. Like, I'm a spoken word artist. I should make you be able to feel me in 3 minutes.
the
Three
funny
minutes.
thing is when I saw people like more games, I was like, yeah, he got him. Yeah, he got him.
One almost hit a million views.
That is not an easy thing to do. I think people don't understand the word, how you have to accentuate your words, not only accentuate your words but understand people as a whole.
Yeah.
It's a psychology to it.
Yes, it is.
To be able to text, sir,
Yeah.
sir,
Because I'm
i'm a,
supposed to what
i'm
I'm
a,
doing.
I'm gonna do some things.
Yeah.
When I see you, if you can text me through that, no, 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 no. Mm.
Text or have I text to a few people. A few people. I can talk to you. I can talk to you through whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then with my text, I'm more poetic in it, and I'm painting this picture in your mind of what like, so you can see what I see.
And
We
I
gonna talk from it.
no, 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 no,
You gonna see what I see, and you gonna be like,
Mm-mm.
oh, this what he
That's
mean,
not
this
gonna
so
work
and
for me
so.
because that's not gonna work for me. Because me being a person that is imagery based, auditory based, and has vivid dreams, I don't need you to do that.
Oh no,
Mm.
I walked in plenty people dreams. I'll tell you that now. I walked them
No
out.
thanks. No, thank you.
You know what's
I don't need
good?
to.
You
I
know what's
don't need
wild? Way
to. I don't need you to do that to me.
no, what's wild was I remember I was talking some shit. This was years ago before I was even this good.
Uh-huh.
I was at work. I was working at Coles, so it's about 8 years ago, and I'm talking to this one shorty there, and we just I'm talking to the dude. I'm talking, telling him how like, yo, you want to talk to a girl? This is some things that you can say, how you can approach with your words and all that. He was like younger than me, so I'm trying to throw in some game.
Right.
And this shorty just listening. I'm like, so you can say like, I looked at her like, you mind if I forgot what
Ooh,
I said in my inbox that night. Not only her, but the gay dude who heard her behind. I was like, that's he tried to holler at me. I said, I appreciate it. That must be, he checking every couple years to see I'm still
that's
good,
hilarious.
bro.
You know what's crazy?
Mm,
Um, I have a partner. This is his favorite, one of his favorite songs, right?
mm,
And I don't know why. I used to choreograph, right? And so therefore now when I hear this song, I can think of choreography. It's a long song. I will say it's like uh it's like almost 5 minutes, right? But when I hear it, I get emotional, horny, and I want to hug him. Like
I know those fellas. I know those fellas.
all the above things. Um, because I just be like, that's there's certain things that your partner shares with you in their kink, right?
Mhm.
Because I understand that instrumental and auditory is part of his kinks too, the same as mine. And so when we listen to music, we hear it differently, but then we come together and it ignites something in us. And now we're horny. Like we've been listening to music all day. Like we ain't touched it. Like we might have touched a hand, gave a couple kisses, but it wasn't nothing like intentional to be. Oh, we're going to do some things. It was just like, hey, this is really cool to do with you. So his auditory hits my auditory, and it just
You, I trust me. I know where certain things sparks. Like when me and my wife got together, we first started like dating, and um, we used to stay with her aunt and uncle. And one thing we used to do, we used to go like into the bedroom, and we used to like lay there. I was holding. We'd watch basketball, Knicks games.
okay.
Now, anytime we together, and then I love basketball season. I just start thinking like, okay, if I do X, Y, Z, I can, like just that environment of us being close. And sometimes it's just I'm laying on that couch, she's laying on the love seat, and I might just touch her leg, touch her foot,
Yeah,
and now all of a sudden I'm thinking like, yo, come sit on it, like, you know what I mean? So, But that's
Listen,
I feel that.
I'm not
Oh,
gonna knock it. I'm not knocking it.
you know, but it's a lot of things. It makes it still feel like I'm like we still dating.
As you should be. You know what's hilarious? My maiden name used to be Flowers, which is so funny. It's so funny. Um, I think for me discovering my masculine sadistic side has been the most exciting journey. Now, granted, I always knew I was not really, really soft. I can be. I really can be. Um, I think I put myself in that position because I was with the man all the time. Even though I dated women and were in relationship with women, I automatically felt like I had to be more feminine. And I'm like, the switch side of me don't won't allow that all the time. You know what I mean? And now that I'm getting to a point where I am engaging with partners that will not only allow me to be in that space, but don't make me feel like, oh, this is too much for me. I'm like, I can be fully myself, like fully. That because that's a scary thing for me. That was scary for me to fully be myself for
Oh yeah,
years. To say, okay, this is what I want. This is who I am. This and then the third. And it's like, oh, I'm there now.
yeah.
I'd
I
be
feel
like,
that.
30s are lit, you know,
No, I
because I'll
feel
be
that.
32 in February.
Or I'm 32 in December.
December what?
8th.
My sister's birthday is December 6th.
That's
That's
my
dope.
yeah, that's my cousin
Yeah.
birthday.
So when did you discover, or are you still discovering and just adjusting who you are in your kinks? Because I realized
Yeah,
like that's not really like a end all be all as I have known for years. Are you in a phase right now specifically where you're like, oh, okay, I'm cool with this, or are you like, I might like these things, and how do I navigate them?
yeah, both. I'm in the. I know what I like.
You're in
These are the
limbo.
things that, yeah, like these are the things that I like. These are things that I know that's gonna work for me. I enjoy. Then there's things like I wonder if if I try this or we try that. Like I got a bunch of stuff like I can't say on even on Fred page of
Mm,
things I want to try. Um,
right.
so right now, like I got like an app. I forgot, I think Kindle or something like that, and I can look through the stuff. I bought the whole freaky deaky package. I can see everything. You pick, you say, hey, yes, no, maybe on these cards, and you can send it to your partner. And so they go through it, yes, no, maybe. I'm like, okay, maybe she want to try that. I'm cool with that. This is a no go. I got it. Boundaries. That's a no go. This is, so I'm trying to figure out more because I don't want to limit myself. I don't know, you know, what I like until I try it. So
Okay. All right. Okay. So, what is your least favorite kink?
I don't.
Hmm?
It's gonna sound weird, but I'm not a fan of leaving bruises. I can if that's what a partner into, but that's not mine. I don't mind spanking, I don't mind hitting, but like one
Are
of
you
my
saying
partners
like
got to
intentionally leaving bruises?
yeah, like if it's something like I don't like one of my partners she was with her dom and she's she bruised like I can't do that how they did it to her.
Yeah.
I'm glad she can get it from somebody, but
No, no.
but I
I
don't
get
mind.
that. I get
You know what
that.
I'm saying?
No, no. I get that. I have a dom that does that for me.
Uh,
Um. Also, if you pitch me hard enough, I'll bruise. So it's kind of hard to not do.
like I just don't want it to be. I mean, if it's enjoyable, I get it. It's. I know I have to get over some things before I'm really comfortable with doing that. But
Yeah.
like
No.
that's again
I
that's
understand.
unpacking and stuff. Yeah.
I understand that completely. I think my least favorite is what is it, the with the children, child play.
Oh yeah, I can't do that. I can't
I
do that
don't
or
like
race
that.
play.
I,
child playing race play. I can't. I
I've never done race play. However, if I was to do race play, it wouldn't be with the white man.
mm, yeah, I can't do it. Yeah,
I
that
know
and
people
child.
that can do race play, but I wouldn't do it with a white man.
Mm,
If
I
I
got
was to get into that, wouldn't be no, not with a Caucasian. No. And
that's the main
literally
ones who try
talked to
to
one of my
spark
partners
it.
about this today. He was like, nah, I was like, I understand. I get
Mm,
it. Um, for me, my favorite is the impact play and when I can get into my sadistic mode. Because as a switch, I am, for those that don't know what that is, I am a dom and a sub. So I am a sadistic pleasure dom with primal tendencies. And when I go into sub, I am just a sub, but I'm not a brat. And I'm not a little either. I am really just a plain sub. Um, this is where that masculine energy comes into. So I just sit here and I think about the things that people want to do. I just can't do certain things because of I would probably pop out of it, but like, what the fuck is you doing? What is this? What is this? What is
Yeah,
this?
no, that's a whole fact, though.
I
That's a
have done
whole
it. Like
fact.
I be like, I can really switch in the middle of playing. Like, oh wait, whoa, what?
I
What are
gave you
you
too much.
doing?
I take that back. I gotta take some
Nah,
of that back.
I gotta, yeah, reel it in. You doing too
Come
much for
in.
me. I cannot
Come
do it.
in.
I just for me, I it takes a special type of partner, and I'm not gonna say what their gender may be because I'm pansexual. So it's just like, hey, calm down. I'm about to say, if you want me to, we playing these roles. We in a session. You going too far now. Let me calm myself down and go back to my space where I've been. Um, I've had people that don't know what little space is. Now I know what my little space is, and I'm going to define that in a little bit, and I'm going to explain my little space. But do you have a little space?
I don't.
You
I
don't have
don't,
a little.
and that's why I think I'm more. If I do get into that switch, I'm finding more. I'm probably am more so a gentle dom than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but no, I have no little space. I have a partner who does have, who does have a little space, and I have been with people who do have that little space.
I was asking because people think that doms don't have little spaces, right?
Oh, no, they
Yeah,
do.
but there are
Well,
plenty that think that like, oh, he's that person's a dom. They don't have a little space, and I'm like,
okay, I
they
take that.
they
I
have
think I
little
do.
spaces.
Yeah, I think the way that I view mine is a little different, but it's not so much of I don't. It's weird. If I can get to a point where I can geek out in a sense with you, and I can show you my things, like I'm excited, you know, if you could make that connection with me and I get happy and like I become that in that I be in a little space, but is I kind of snap out of it because I is like you mentioned earlier,
But why
it's
do you
weird.
what do you
Not not
snap
not that it's
there?
weird for me, but it's that judgment
I
that
need you to
falls
back
back
it
in
up.
my head.
I need you to back it
What?
up. I need you to back it up.
Mhm. What up?
It's not weird.
No, I know,
It's unconventional.
but
There's a
that's the
difference.
first thought. Yeah, but that's how what been put in for so long is you can't be like that.
I'm not. I don't give a fuck
Yeah,
what they say. I don't
I
give a fuck.
know.
If that hit me personally. That not only hit me personally. They hit me with my relationships. I had this.
Mhm.
I will discuss that when you finish your story. It's not weird. It's
Oh no, I know it's not.
unconventional. When you hit a so what you're saying is, if I'm hearing right, you hit a space where you're excited and you want this person to be excited with you, and it may not be the norm for most. And if they don't, then you go into a sort of little space.
No, so the excitement is the space. If I
The little space is the excitement.
is
Okay.
the excitement, and so when I feel like oh I'm in this space, especially with somebody who don't know it, I take myself back, and that's when all the stuff of in the back of the head of you can't do this. You're not supposed to do this. Is of course getting over me being in the position I'm in life. I had to overcome a lot of that, but a lot of that still just it's healing that's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay. So, are there other spaces where you feel that way, where you kind of go into little space where you feel excitement and it's not the same, or is it always the same?
what you mean? Okay, like is
So,
it
like,
like
okay, you say there's this space where you have excitement,
yeah?
where that may be your little space. Is there other spaces where you feel the same way and you may go into little space?
It depends more so on not really. I think the excitement is that space. No matter what I'm doing, if it is something I'm nerding out on, if it's I want to show you this music, I want to show you what I made. If I want to, it, it's
Fred, are you a words of affirmation man?
mhm.
Okay, keep going.
But I know when I'm know when I'm in it, and then it's just getting to the fact of like in the sense of it's okay. That's my only thing. And and I know it's hold on, excuse
This is hello.
me.
Hi. I'm sorry, y'all. We was talking.
No, you good, babes. I was
Um,
look. I'm elevated
uh,
right now, so
Frank, excuse me, Fred. This is Gladys, Shark, and Lily. Um,
Hi.
we are talking about
How
little
y'all doing?
spaces right now. Um, so when you are in little space, how do you bring yourself out of it?
for who?
That is my question.
To me,
Yes, Fred.
it's I
You,
don't I don't know. It's a snap. It's just a snapback.
is
That's
it?
all. No, it is. It is. It's how I felt afterwards though. What made me snap back? Is it me going like I'm just like okay, I'm excited. I let that excitement out. I can go back to it. It can even be me finding some pictures in what I do. You know what I'm saying? And I get that, and I want to share it with somebody. Usually, it's my wife. I go to a like I just drew a picture I went on the fridge type shit. Like that kind of excitement. But then once I let that out, I'm back to me.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Um,
Hold on, chef. Before you, okay, I just want to ask this
mhm.
specific question about that little space. Is there a difference between being in your little space and being in your regression? Because a lot of people get those two mixed up when,
Yes,
especially
yes.
when it comes to subs and brats, they be like, "Oh, she's in her little space," and it's like, actually, she's not. She's in a regression because typically your little space is most of the time when I sit with subs and any person that identify as a little, their little space is typically their happy space or a space where they're highly elevated
Mm.
in top peak of whatever they identify in. So sometimes when you are looking at a little and they're in an uncomfortable space, it's not actually in a little space, it's more into the regression, and a lot of people get those two spaces mixed up. Now, if the person established that when they're in their little, that means that they're in a bad position, then take that for its meaning. But generally, a lot of people who work in their little space typically has good condensation behind it and bad condensation behind it. But that I just want to know, how do we identify the difference between the two?
Ooh, me. Pick me. Pick me. Pick me.
Go ahead, Lily.
Okay. As a practicing little, excuse me, I'm still coughing. But as a practicing little, yes, my little space is very much my happy space. It's my, this is where I'm most comfortable. These are the things that I have that bring me joy. However, it is also wholly possible to go into a complete regression, negatively or otherwise, while within my little space already. And I think sometimes that's where the confusion often happens because since you are already in your little space, at least for myself and the other littles that I do know personally, um, you are already, I don't want to say loose, but you're in more of a comfortability level that is easier for those negative feelings or those regressions to come out because you're already more comfortable and looser mentally. And sometimes those regressions just hit. So I do agree that they're separate, but I also do believe that they can sometimes overlap.
Yeah, I can definitely. I know me personally, because I identify as a switch. So I'm not. I have on both sides. I have brat and little tendencies in my sub side, and then I also have my dom side. So that coincides with each other. But when I get into my little space is when I'm regressing. So when I am in regression, I will ultimately go into little space because it is a dynamic that I operate in. And for me personally, when I'm in my little space, that means that we have passed all of the stops and we are now at ground zero for me. And coming out of that little space it's much harder because I don't operate it in a lot and it's very much a triggering motion for me that I try to stay out of it as much as possible. Because I have both counterparts work at the same time. So if 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 I like let's say as a person who doms their self, like if you're a switch, sometimes you can dom yourself if you don't have an active dom. So when my dom side sees that my sub side is in little space, my dom side will basically come out and be in defense mode of my little and my sub and my brat. Because I know
I've
more than
actually seen
anybody.
that in you.
Yeah, so that's why it's like sometimes that's the part where I have to be very careful because my dom my dom will definitely go to the extremes to protect my sub because it can see, okay, she's in regression, so we have to basically, you know, okay, who did it, where is it, fix it at the end of the day. Because dom can't operate without the sub being okay. So
Hi, Marley.
Hey,
hey
Marley.
Marley.
Can you hear us? Marley, what is you doing with that microphone?
He's still working the kinks out. Give him a second.
Oh, tank.
Okay, so for me though, since we are talking about coming out of a little space, oh, I don't.
You don't
Oh,
like this? I don't like this either. Just because you
it's
want to
just
be
a little.
next to
I do always. Yay!
you just want to be, you want me.
I'll be your bottom. I don't mind.
I'm
But
sorry.
no, okay,
Quit
but no,
it.
but so this is the thing. If I trust you enough to allow myself into a voluntary little space, not a regressive space, but if I trust you enough to go into my little space around you, two things are happening. One, I trust you infinitely because of the second part. I actually do not know how to bring myself out of a little space. That
Mm.
is not a tool that I have yet mastered. There is a level of comfortability that is required to do so. One sec.
What'd you say, Fred?
I'm just listening.
Oh,
Excuse
I'm
me.
sorry. I had to answer your question real quick. Excuse me. But no, like for myself, I don't have the tools to bring myself out of a little space. So I have to trust the person that I am with to do so.
As someone that has seen me in little space in real time, Lily knows it's not the prettiest little space. Takes a while, but I'm gonna get there. I'll get there. Takes.
As somebody who has seen both you and Gladys in your little spaces, first of all, I don't know if this is just a switch trait or what, but it's only ever been switches that I have seen go through a complete little space and bring yourselves out. That is not a.
You
Oh
have no
man.
choice.
All right, can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hey, Marley.
Um,
Hey
took
Gladys,
me
what's up,
from
Lele?
under my desi, and I'm sad now.
How you doing,
We
Mr. Fresh?
literally have no choice because at the end of the
What's going
day,
on? What's going
we're
on?
going to switch eventually. We're going to switch.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. It's only ever been switches that I've known be able to go completely down that rabbit hole and bring themselves out. If I am
Mm-mm.
in that rabbit hole, I am no longer Alice. I am a full blown Tweedledee, and somebody got to come get me because I'm stuck.
Oh, honey bun. Nay!
I think, I- and I want to get back on subject. I'm so sorry because I think I derailed us a little bit, but I think the reason why, primarily for me personally, I do see it a lot with switches. I think it's because a lot of switches first dom is themselves, so they have cultivated the skills to kind of call under their own sub in that moment that allows them to be able to pull their little out because how they cultivated both sides of that dynamic more so than anything. Like I am the best dom to my sub because I know my sub the best because it is me in a way. And it's vice versa. Like as a switch, like I can train I can train a sub to be the I can train a sub to be the best to my dom by being the sub. Like it's hands-on training because as a sub to like it's weird. It's kind of like you like a Gemini. It's kind of like a split personality. It's like you have your dom on your left shoulder and you have your sub on your right shoulder, and who's ever engaging with you gets to have either one, and that one comes to the forefront and be like, all right, for this individual, this is how you have to navigate. Boom, 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 boom. If you want to dom this person, you have to follow these dom tactics. If you want this person to be a sub to you, or you want to sub to this person, these are the dynamics that you have to follow because it's not going to work.
So your dime and your sub sit on your shoulders like angels and devils, though.
Hell
Mine,
yes.
mine do. I be talking about it. I be like, it's me, myself, and I, and I'm the me, and I got myself and I telling me to do shit.
See, mine do the same thing, but they all tell me to do the bad stuff that get me in trouble.
Yeah, me too, friend. Me too.
That's
I got a red devil and a purple
That's
devil,
because
and don't
your
neither
ass
one
is
of
a
them
full
listen.
brat. That's why.
no, because you have your sub and your brat sitting on your shoulder, and both of them bitches love punishment equally at the same time. So
Agreed.
your brat is like be rebellious, and your sub is like, all right, but how much rebellion is going to get us into punishment? So either way, still bad. It's just the level of
Well,
authority.
when I'm in actual subspace, like true subspace, I am an excellent listener. The problem is I'm mostly either in brat or little space.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some things.
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
All
ma'am.
right. I want to know everybody's favorite kink. Now, Fred has already told me Everybody else tell me. Go around the square. Gladys, you first. Nay, Marley, Lily.
What are we defining as kink first?
Gladys probably got it. We doing it right.
I'm just
You
saying.
know Gladys
You
need
know damn
details and
well what I'm
directives.
talking about.
I'm an educator. I need to know the parameters of what we're talking about,
I don't have
context
time for
clues.
this when I got Rihanna playing Skin. When Skin is playing from Rihanna, what is
Uh,
your favorite king? You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I would say anything underneath the primal umbrella would be my favorite kink. Let's just say
Okay.
that.
Okay. That's valid. Nay,
If y'all can't see how I'm dressed right now,
we can. We can see. We can see.
I'm definitely a fan of the primal play. Because I identify mostly as a bunny, the rope play. I love any kind of restraints, any kind of restraint play. That's it makes me feel comfortable. Strangely enough, being
Not strange.
restrained made me
I
makes me
really
feel
want y'all to
comfortable.
stop calling this shit strange and weird. I really do.
Restraint. I said restraint. Sorry, I didn't say strange. Restraints. They make me
Okay.
feel comfortable. You know, they make I feel safe. I feel safe, like I'm secure.
Cause you are. You ain't going nowhere. All
Right.
right. Marley.
I like restraints. I want to learn more about ropes and knots and all of that, but I like
I'm
handcuffs.
waiting on Rocco.
I like handcuffs, wrist cuffs, spreaders, all of that.
Okay. Lily.
I got moved around and I got confused as to where I was.
No,
I
you
thought I
good. You
dropped
good. You
myself
good. You
down.
good.
Um, I would say honestly, um, age play with soft impact.
Soft impact. Hmm.
Soft impact.
Talk so
Like
much.
I don't mind being struck a little bit, but I don't necessarily want broken skin or whelps and stuff. I like the sound of the smack less so than the sting of it. It's very auditory for
Agreed.
Where did Marley and you know what? Us girls, we gonna do this. All right.
me.
Um, I think for me, the one that makes me the most excited is impact play. Um, oh, there goes Marley. Um, Rocco, bring your ass. Ain't nobody got time for your foolishness. No, I don't know what happened either. But yeah, impact play, fave, love it. Pop me.
Ooh,
Um,
the sounds. Ooh.
good things.
Whew.
Um, come on, Beth. Come on, sugar. Do the Dothraki buy that saves? The Dothraki don't believe in fuck that mean. What's the best way to prepare? Hold on, y'all. Okay. The crazy thing is, I don't even know how to get back to this motherfucker. Nope, 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 nope.
Oh no. Now
Everybody doing the same thing, backing out by mistake.
right? Now we lost the host. Mistress, come back.
I have questions. Questions. I was coming in. Wait, Desi.
How did we let her back in?
All right.
This
There we
is
go. Sorry, guys. But yes, to my son, be done if you. I'm sick of him. Come on, babe. Bring that ass in here.
And throw that ass
Yay,
in
I'm back.
throw that ass in a circle.
Hey,
Hey, throw that ass.
Girl, listen, you trying to have me knock down everything in a 6 foot radius. What are
and
you doing?
Girl, I
just
live in California and I'm used to earthquakes. I'm used to earthquakes, okay?
look. Ha! Look.
I sleep through earthquakes. I need a little shake in my life, a little shake and bake.
Ah! Um, we were talking about some things. Let's. What are the questions you has, hon?
okay. Jesus.
Okay,
I
thank
don't
you
think I
for.
want to fall out of here, but some of the questions were so it's a beginners into BDSM group. So they had questions like how do you identify the difference between having how do you identify if you are developing a kink? That was one of the questions. Like how if like if I'm someone who predominantly identifies as traditional, but I'm starting to see that I'm developing what would be considered a kink, how do I, you know, navigate that? And I'm like,
That's
that's
good.
that's really good because I don't think a lot of us identify our origin point on how we developed a certain type of kink. Some unfortunately some people have it developed from trauma, so they kind of like
At the host.
um yeah, the hostess she dropped. Yeah,
Hostess. Hostess.
she'll come back in. But I think so. I think the misconception is that people who have kink have cultivated them from like essay trauma, and it's not necessarily that. So a lot of people feel as though, oh, now that I've developed this kink, is this because of some type of traumatic experience that I am finding some type of pleasure or comfortability with a certain thing happening sexually to me? And it's like that's not
And
necessarily true.
okay, so for me, I absolutely hate that narrative because I hear it so often. Yes, there are some people who do develop some kinks from their past trauma. However, not every kink necessarily has to have a trauma origin story.
Agreed.
Some kinks might just be because you find out you like it.
Mm-hmm.
Some kinks develop as a counterpoint to some possible self care. Like, for instance, I have seen that a lot of, especially in women who are in high leadership, high control positions in their,
Very much
you
so.
know, day to day life,
Hmm.
may be more inclined to identify as rope bunnies or pet play, or can we say the full thing, or are we still on Slave?
Yeah.
I don't know how
No, you
StreamYard
good,
works.
hon. Sweet
Okay.
pie.
Or may identify as a slave level sub because in their private life or in their kink life or in their sexual life, they would feel they feel more um I can't think of the word I'm looking for here, but they're able to give up complete control and that's how they get their release
Mm-hmm.
because
I
they have to be in so much control in their regular life. And that's not just, corporate Jane who did 17 meetings, 2 lunch dates, and 5 Zoom calls before noon. This is also, Holly Housewife who is running 17 kids to 23 practices and, cooks for her husband and changes his clothes and irons his clothes and washes the dishes and does all that before 5 p.m. Oftentimes,
I'm
it's
not
just
doing none
that
of that.
high
I'm
volume,
not doing
high
that.
operating woman, factuals, but it's that high operating woman who oftentimes just wants to give up control, and that's
Yes.
her release. That's not necessarily from a place of trauma. Or same vice versa. There are also some high volume, high leadership men who may want to be a degradee, or may want to be your sub, or may want to be your boy, or whatever way they find that they are comfortable being in their level of submission.
Yeah, I
It's
agree with
sometimes a
that.
counterpoint as a form of self-care, is what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, Leilani, because I that's how I pretty much operate with me being submissive because I'm a switch, but I find myself being more dominant with people I don't particularly have an interest in. And then I'm submissive with the people or the person, my Dom, that I trust and that I, am willing to do those things with because I do have a very stressful job and it's very demanding. I do like to relinquish that power to someone that I trust that
I'm
I believe is going to take care of me.
I'm be doing
That
that.
was the word, relinquish. Thank you.
You're welcome, baby.
I don't be doing none of that. I'm just a switch. I don't know why. We gonna focus on that later. It's probably because my mom was always the dominant personality in my family, and I always saw her being dominant, and most women in my family being dominant, and therefore I felt that way. So when I meet a man that I feel like, oh, let me just melt in their hands like M&Ms, I will do such things. Um, and that's literally just the thing. 'Cause I don't have any trauma attached to my kinks. No, no, no trauma attached to them. However, if a man can make me shut the fuck up,
Right.
I'm gonna
If
shut the
you
Exactly.
fuck
can
up.
tell me what to do,
If you can tell me what to do,
You can
you
tell
can
me
tell me
what
what to do.
to
You can't tell me what to do. You can't tell me what to do. I just, mm-mm.
And you might get your
L-
head chopped off in the process
And I'm
because you're
done. And
playing
I'm
with
not
fire.
listen,
dealing
let
with
me
people.
tell you that
That,
is my favorite call out for a Brad. Because if you can't tell me what to do, baby, look out. Because you about to have a hard way to go. You are not going to like me when it's over. It is not going to be pretty. And you going to walk away crying to your mom.
Yep.
I'm gonna tell y'all, if Spartan didn't sent me his penis through this phone while I was on this live, it's gonna be a recklessness. It's gonna be recklessness.
I mean, apparently you can bop out and still come back in and we'll still
Sure
be here.
can. Y'all continue to talk
Right.
because I need to look. I
So
need to
I
look.
feel like, do we like this better? Because I saw we can have up to 10 people on a panel a lot of
Yeah,
times.
we can. It says up to 10 people, so that means I can have 9 people other than me. So because I count as
Do
10.
do we
Also,
like this better?
yes, I bought Spartan another Twix, but I'm about to eat it.
That looks
Oh
delicious.
yeah, you definitely still on that track right now, then.
Okay. Question number dos. Right? Dos question.
Mm-hmm.
How do I invite my partner into my kink if
Ooh.
they are not kink adjacent or in the
Conversation.
lifestyle?
I would say first of all, I'll talk to your partner about the kink, what
Hmm.
kind of kink you have, right?
Yeah.
And then understand that the kink has levels to it.
Factual.
Don't take it all the way to the extreme. If they are being invited into it, start at the lowest level of the kink. If you don't know that, you should probably examine that. So, like, let's say if I want to be tied up to a bed, the lowest level is to have handcuffs. It's a restraint, right? So then we started handcuffs. We started restraints from hip from hands. Then we start hands and feet. Then we continue until we can get to the point of I can tie you up to a post and you don't even think twice about it because you trust me enough that you know when you say your safe word or when you say or when I know you're uncomfortable that we're done. We're done with this, and aftercare immediately starts.
Yeah.
And I
You
feel
have
like
to
that
start
actually has to be
whatever kink
discussed
that you
first.
have. Start at the bottom. started from the bottom. Now we're here, Drake. Literally.
Right. But I think too, the aspects, not just of the kink itself, but of an entire session need to be discussed.
Mm-hmm.
What is the trigger to start it? What do the safe words mean? What is aftercare? Because if they're not adjacent, they don't necessarily know what any of this means at all.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't expect your needs fulfilled by somebody who is not aware of what your needs are.
I also feel like aftercare should be explained to them who is kink adjacent, that it doesn't have to be the same every time. It doesn't. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be like I
Absolutely.
always want this. I always want. Hey, just tell me what you would like for me to make you feel comfortable after we do this act.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you straight up, I'm always gonna want my booty rubbed. Always.
What? I know, Lily. I know, baby. It's a lot of ass. It's a
Facts.
lot of ass to rub. It's gonna take me at least 15 minutes to rub at least one cheek. That's not the simple point.
Yeah. But
Someone
that
Girl,
who is
also,
kink
please.
adjacent, someone who's kink adjacent, might not understand what aftercare is, and they
That's
may
what I'm
think
saying.
like, "Oh, I have to accept this aftercare all the time." You're kink adjacent. That does not mean that this will always be your aftercare. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
why I'm
Like,
saying, like, if they're only adjacent, the first thing that ever needs to happen is a conversation, not
mm-hmm.
just in what is my particular kink, but what is the breakdown of, say, a session. Like, this is a thing, this is a
Mm-hmm.
thing I may want, this is a thing that may happen, but that they can always understand that not only can it all be customized, it can all be ever changing.
I have always said, communication is key. If I
Yeah.
can communicate with you that, yeah, 2 nights ago I wanted a bubble bath and for you to rub my feet, but tonight I want something different, such as let's sit here and eat burgers in the bed, and then you put my leg on your leg. That's still my aftercare. It's gonna
Right.
change. It's
You
gonna
know.
change not only from person to person, but it's gonna change. But I had a bad fucking day, and today I
uh,
don't want what I had 2 days ago. What I need from you today from aftercare is this. It's not gonna look the same as 2 days ago. This is where the communication comes in, and that hurts a lot of relationships when it comes to any relationship, whether you're monogamous, poly, kink, whatever. I need this from you. Can you do this for me?
Which I think often too is in healthy in healthy kink relationships
Mm-hmm.
is usually the biggest benefit that I see against vanilla relationships is that
Mm-hmm.
because of the nature of a kink dynamic, the need for consistent and constant communication is already built in.
Right.
And a lot of
I,
times I've seen that neglected in what would be considered a more vanilla relationship because they have the assumption that because this is traditional, this is the way that it's supposed to go. And kink is just a reflection of your day to day life. It still needs to be cultivated to you specifically and to your own dynamic, as should everything. Like Gladys and Nay and Desi, all switches, right?
yeah.
right.
None of you are the same kind of switch or switch in the same way or
Nope.
switch based off the
No.
same triggers.
No.
It's never so black and white, which is
And,
funny as
and,
I look at your
and
jacket,
flip this shit if we
but it's
really want
never
to.
that black and
And
white.
if we flip this shit when we want to, we switch between each other.
Yeah. That is true.
We switch between each other. Even in our switch mode, we do. We understand. Okay, she needs this.
And you can
Hmm.
tell. You can
I need to
tell.
go here for her
Yeah.
because
You
she
can
needs
see.
this. She needs this for her right now. We understand that.
I actually
The,
have.
the thing the thing is, I'm sorry, Nat.
Go ahead.
The thing that trips me out is that people that are in monogamous relationships like, I could never do that. I can. That's your problem.
Oh, I hate that. Ooh, I
That's your
hate that.
problem. Because you
Yeah,
don't know how
that's
to
always a
communicate
problem.
properly. If I can communicate between 7+ people, some that I don't even have intercourse with, why can't you communicate with one? That sounds like a you problem. Not
Right.
Just
that's me
Right.
one.
problem.
Just
I didn't
one.
I didn't ask you to be with me. What I asked you to do is understand, and if you want the information, I can give that to you. However, when I communicate with my partners, I don't have the issues you have. You know
Right.
why? Because I'm communicating with them. And I'm telling them I'm not happy. I would like this from you. And the partners that I have say, okay, I didn't know that you needed that. I will fix that. But what a lot of people don't understand is if you just open your mouth and say what you need, if the person wants to do it, they'll do it. If they don't, they won't. So you move forward how you feel like you need to move forward.
I think that's where a lot of the fear comes in. Is people when we say have an open line of communication, I think the biggest fear for a lot of people is that they won't be accepted in their technique of communicating, or their opinions will not be validated or be dismissed. So they're trying to avoid the feeling of rejection and dismissal by avoiding the conversation in total. However, that doesn't solve the problem whatsoever. What I see in when I counsel a lot of sessions between kink adjacent or vanilla people that has a person that is operating in the community in a specific genre is that I try to explain that sometimes your partnership in life is not going to be transitional into the lifestyle also, because as much as you would want your partner to be the end all be all, that's not how human nature works. One, like, as an individual, we don't get all of our fulfillment in one person neither. That's why I think a lot of just regular relationships fail, is because we have this ideology that my partner will be everything that I need. That's a lot to put on one individual person, because
Mm-hmm.
they can't fulfill every aspect of who you are as an individual. So, what makes you think that transition that into a lifestyle that this one person is going to be able to fulfill every kink, fantasy, session play, whatever you have going on, that this one person is going to be able to meet the marker on every aspect of it? Sometimes as an individual, we decide if we're going to relinquish a certain desire in the benefit of the dynamic. That's something totally different. But if
Yeah.
somebody wanted to operate fully in everything that they are, they will probably most likely have to pull in partners in that particular expertise that is outside of who they deal with in their life personally.
Yeah.
I
I
do.
actually, I just had a conversation with
So
someone who is a quote unquote monogamous person, which was funny because I was explaining the lifestyle that I'm choosing to live. And he pretty much went on a rant saying how he doesn't get it, that I'll never be happy, that I'll never, have that fulfillment. And it was funny to hear him say that because I was like, you know what? The most honest and truthful relationship I've ever had is with my DOMs. I'm completely honest and transparent with my DOMs. I don't hold anything back. I don't hold back conversations that I have. I tell them about everything. And he was just like, why would you do that? And I was like, well, look, you're sitting here talking to me when you have a wife. Does she know you're talking to me? I was like, but I guarantee you, I'm going to go tell my Dom tonight about this conversation that we're having because we have that relationship where I'm not going to lie to him. For what reason? I have no reason to lie. And so that's what they don't understand. And they think it's just like we're all being nasty out here and unsafe. And that's not at all how it is, because there's that level of communication and honesty between everyone that's involved. You know if your dom is messing with someone else, unless y'all choose to not communicate about such things. And
I feel
so
like you're being real loud, Nate.
me, I don't even have headphones on, and I'm like 2 feet away from the phone.
Oh no, she's not talking about she was
Not
meant
your
she was
No,
actual
meaning
no,
that in
no,
volume.
black.
no,
Not
not like
She
that.
volume.
meant that in
Not like that.
blackness.
Not like that. Not like that.
That
Oh,
was just a phrase. She was operating in blackness by saying that. But that's also another misconception about the lifestyle is that we're unprotected, or that
Mm,
we're also, if you are in this lifestyle, that immediately makes you non-monogamous or poly. There are so many monogamous one person to one person relationships that operate in our lifestyle. There's more coupling than poly in every aspect of it completely, because as non-traditional as a lifestyle is, people still operate traditionally in it.
yeah.
So
mhm.
that's the part that people be like, oh, well, you just out here messing. It's like a big orgy. Half of us don't even like a lot of group play anyway.
Right.
We
Thing
just want to
is,
have. Go ahead,
most
babe.
of us don't even be having sex with one another. That's the
Right.
thing.
Yeah,
I,
Okay,
I
because
had to
I
explain
can
exactly.
to
comfortably
somebody
be
about
pan,
I
but
had to explain to
also
somebody
not
about a
prefer group
sapiosexual
play.
partner. I was like, you do realize we have sapiosexual partners, right? And they was
Right.
like, what?
Absolutely.
We have sapiosexual partner. If I'm going to be honest right now, I am legally sapiosexual partner.
100%. I would absolutely agree to that.
I am her sapiosexual partner. I have never seen Lily. I have never had sex with Lily. I have never touched Lily. But damn it, I'm her partner.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We are sapiosexually connected, and she can tell you for sure, how connected we are.
It's
Yeah.
scary
Yeah.
in
I
a good
we
way. In a good
that's
way.
not a requirement to have multiple partners. It
Right.
doesn't mean like we all up in here sitting here dipping and sticking.
Yeah.
That's not
Fucking and
We
what it
just
fucking each
is.
all
other.
touching
And
on everybody, and that's just not it.
I have a partner that is monopoly. He only dates me, but he understands that I date other people.
Right.
Hmm.
It does not have to be all of that, but see, again,
But
it has been seen from a perspective that does not look like any of us in these boxes, and we all look
but
like me.
but here's my thing, because there actually is a quote unquote monogamous vanilla counterpart to everything that we're saying. Because what person do we know at all? What people do we know who are in vanilla monogamous relationships who don't also have friendships beyond the scope of their relationship?
Oh
Right.
yeah, a lot of
The
people do.
expectation that you are to be the end all be all for your partner is not only illogical, it's actually irresponsible. Because even if I were in a completely monogamous, completely vanilla relationship, we only have sex on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays because that's the
Oh
days he
God.
doesn't work late or whatever, you know. And it's always missionary, and he goes and watches the game while I make him a sandwich. I don't know how those things work,
I
but I'm
know.
saying
I'm sorry. That disgusted me. Ugh.
it. Yeah, it's a little itchy, but at the
That was
same
not
time,
sexy whatsoever.
Uh-uh.
at the same time, he's gonna. I don't know. I'm gonna sound very sitcom right now because I'm not sure, but I'm saying he's gonna go play poker on Wednesday nights with his homeboys.
Oh Lord.
I'm gonna go for brunch and shopping on Saturday with my girls because he can't be my girlfriend while being my partner. I can't be his homeboy while being his partner because he can't expect that behavior out of me because that is not in my wheelhouse.
Mm.
Right.
You asking for a completely, R&B playlist, but my whole library is rock and roll. It's not gonna work.
Right.
You cannot be everything for everybody. No person is built that way, and if they are, damn it, they are lying to you.
Right.
What you have is a falsification and somebody putting on a front to most likely control you, and what you probably have is a narcissistic love bomber
Man.
if they
What
are
I
really showing themselves to be
That
everything
part.
for you, because that's not.
unfortunately,
Molly had wanted to say something. Molly, what you want to say?
Nah, I was
That's a
just
face
agreeing with
emoji.
Lele.
and it's crazy that you're saying that, because I've been, unfortunately, my FYP or TikTok has been sending me these videos of these guys who are throwing out questions that I feel as though would be best fitted to kind of like ask somebody of the lifestyle. Like a guy was rock
Hey,
rock.
Sorry,
Rocco.
sorry, sorry.
Here I go.
What's good, y'all?
Hey.
Hey, with the DJ mic in the headphones on.
Hi,
Oh, you're coming
Rocco.
through strong.
Rocco, you literally had 32 minutes. I'm gonna hold you. Yeah, I'm leaving at 11. I'm sleepy. I'm old.
We good. We got 30 minutes. Actually, we only got 20 minutes because Dad's going to drop this and like she's going to do like 10 minutes before she got to go to bed.
No, I'm gonna
Facts.
say we doing it till 11 o'clock. That's only because I gotta call Spartan, and then I gotta call Pickles because she getting on the road tomorrow.
Um,
So
wish her safe travels. Wish her safe.
yeah, she got to come here because it's a con here. I don't want to say the wrong one. So
Oh
Oh,
man.
I know she gonna be so cute.
Oh,
she will
Oh
be
my god.
here
we
with
gotta talk in the
me.
morning.
Right.
Praise
Desi,
God.
I gotta
we
come
gotta
over there.
talk in the morning.
Now she doesn't know that she does not know that I know what I know. I know what I know.
Like
All right,
I said what I said.
I know, babe.
I don't
Don't you
want to
raise your
know.
voice? Don't you put some
I
depth in your voice?
don't know if
I
you
did my
I said,
best.
can.
I said what I said.
Okay. All right. All
Okay,
right. Yeah.
so
Okay. Don't make me switch right now. I've been very.
question number 3
Okay.
before
Thank you for
y'all
that.
get in trouble.
Thank you,
Before
honey
anybody get
bun.
in trouble, right? Question number 3.
Mm-hmm.
So, how? Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can word this correctly. Okay. If I am single and I'm coming out of a dynamic and trying to enter into or create a new dynamic, but I have adjusted who I identify in the things that I operate in. How does that work? Basically, this person is saying that before, when they were in a dynamic, they had this one central kink that they would operate in, and now that they have walked out of that dynamic and did some self-evaluation, they realize that that kink is only able to operate with that particular person. So now that they're trying to operate and try to find a new dynamic, the kink that they used to practice, they can't practice anymore. So now they are trying to cultivate, I guess, a new kink in a way. And how does
Ooh.
that work with now a new person? Because that's also another thing. Like every kink is just not. It's not only entirely as your individual preference. You can also develop a kink that you find pleasure in because of who you are doing the kink with.
Mm-hmm.
Necessarily.
I want the guys to take this. Marley, go ahead, and then Rocco, you. Marley, you
What'd you
be
say? What'd you say?
Rocco.
I'll chime in. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. So I can actually say this, speak to this, given that I was previously in a dynamic. So my dynamic with my former mistress, we didn't see each other physically, but we would video chat. So for me, we mostly focused on not so much kink, but more so mental development. So she was more focused on getting my mind right versus instructing me on how to utilize implements or how to do certain things technique wise. She recognized I have a natural propensity for being able to do certain things already anyway. So her stance was always, hey, if your mind is in a shitty place, then you're no good, no matter what kind of fancy tools, implements, hardware you got. So now, a good example. So now I've realized that I identify as primal. So for me, it's something that I'm researching, listening to different resources about and reading about. And so for me, it's something that expressing it it's finding those that I identify within the community that also operate within primal space, and essentially having conversations, negotiations, and then basically talking about what it looks like for me, what it looks like for them, and then ultimately using that information to then get to a place where we can negotiate scene play, or even if it's just conversations about operating within that space. Does that make sense?
Yes. Molly, you ready now?
All right, can I have a question again? Because I was zoned out. I was elsewhere.
Molly's
This is one
skyrocketing
job.
right now.
Damn it. All right, go ahead. What?
Um, the question was is how do you, if you're coming out of a dynamic or that you had a kink that was developing a dynamic and you can't do that kink anymore, how do you now search for a new relationship where you can develop a different kink?
I mean, for me lately, my biggest thing is communication for everything. Like, it's I'm talking about everything straight up and down. This is what I like. This is what I need. This is what I want. Uh, if that's something that you can get with, then that's even better. But if not, then it's like, all right, well, can we find a middle ground somewhere to like something that we could relate to in that situation somewhere? Like, but to completely say I can't have that kink, I may not want to stay in that situation. Because me personally, it's like, all right, I know if I can't have it there, I'm gonna go try to find it elsewhere.
Mm.
And that's, I mean, if I'm trying to make the best of that situation, then that's probably not what's going to work. So, like I said, for me, it's the communication part.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I guess to add to that, Marley, so that would be another thing too. So I know y'all, I think y'all touched on poly and Amory a bit earlier, right? Des?
Yeah, a little bit.
So that's another conversation too, where it's, hey, if this isn't something we aren't able to do within this space in this particular dynamic, are we open to
This,
allowing space for each other to do
exactly.
that outside of this particular dynamic?
Mhm.
Can
I
I
know
chime
like
in
for
now?
me, I know like for me personally, there are certain sessions or scenes that I will only do with a particular person, regardless at the end of the day. It's just a safety precaution for me, how I feel comfortable in it. Because having to teach somebody your way of session, especially if it's not a person that you are developing a long term relationship with, can sometimes be pointless. Like, if I'm just coming in to get my rocks off, I don't need you to do all of the things I didn't
Yeah,
say
you
to
don't need all the bells and
you.
whistles.
Yeah, I just need you
Exactly.
to do A,
Yeah.
B, C, and D, and I'm good. But do I enjoy all of the bells and whistles? Of course, but I don't trust you enough to meet the standard and operate in it completely because
If
we
I'm
don't
coming,
have that rapport with
if
each
I'm coming
other.
to my rocks off, I don't need a bell or the whistle. Do you have the bike?
Yeah.
Do you have the fucking bike? I just want to ride the bike. I don't need the tassels. I don't need the little front bell. I don't need the stop. I don't need none of that. Just give me the bike. I can take it from there.
Now
Um,
that's now if it's somebody that you love the bells and whistles with, like you be like, hey, you need to hit all of the functions all the time because
the blowhorn in this motherfucker. I'm gonna do it like that.
yeah, yeah.
You know the blowhorn they used to have on the old box Chevys. Yeah, you need to have that. That's what we gonna do. I'm just saying.
See, I think for me, when it comes to my kinks are very emotionally driven because I'm a super emotional person. So, depending on my emotionality towards you, will determine the kinks that I need from you.
Yeah.
So, I don't trust everyone to spank me because some people just
Oh,
don't have
okay.
the correct demeanor for me to trust them with my body like that. I don't trust everyone to tie me up because not everyone will tie you up the same. It's really
Or
my
protect you
emotions
while
are,
you're tied up.
yeah, my emotions are strongly connected to my kinks, and I'll only allow certain kinks with certain people because of what I determine my relationship with them as.
And I think that's a caveat too, because it's like you always assume, especially in subspaces and in subplay, that you have to be able to forgo all your trust to be able to be in that level of submission. But at the same time, the counterpart is even if you are in your dominant role, you still have to be able to trust your sub to protect your dominance. So
Hmm.
I don't think anybody is always going to
I think the funny thing
necessarily
is,
be able to transition whatever their kinks are in relationship or dynamic A to dynamic B, C, and D every time. Like, even with myself, like, y'all already know I am a sub across the board. However, no, I'm not going to pet for everybody. I'm not going to pet for most people. Like, that's just not in my wheelhouse.
the crazy thing
I
is, like,
I
people don't think that I can go into subspace, and y'all have seen me go into it. I will tell you, I'm in subspace. Yeah, give me that.
mhm.
Like, but people don't think that I can go there. People don't think that I can be soft. I'm like,
But then two people also don't always understand that even within subspace, two subs can sub together and be comfortable in that if that is their dynamic. Just like two doms can co-dominant,
yeah.
excuse me, in whatever their particular roles are. It's just a matter of what do you want or what are you able to achieve more so from this dynamic that you're in. Like even as a, and I'm going to use Nay if that's okay. Nay, is that okay?
She probably
I
is.
want her consent before I keep going.
Nay.
You calling me?
Yes.
Yes. Can I use you as an example real quick, Nay?
Of course, babe.
Okay. So Nay, for example, stated that she likes to be a rope bunny. There is so much vulnerability in that because,
Mm-hmm.
yes, you might have somebody whose strengths are cuffs and 4x4 restraints, and that's fine. But, excuse me, the moment you get into like a Pentagon Star or you go into a full, helix restraint, full body, then that becomes something totally different. And is the person you're with capable of doing that? And then do you feel safe enough to allow that person to restrain you to that degree?
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to occur in every dynamic.
Yes, that is so
So,
true.
kitty kitty. So, yeah, you may be a full blown rope bunny, and that may be your kink, but you may able with, Dom A be able to be completely restrained and completely tied up because he might be a rigger and you guys may have developed that level in your dynamic. But, with Dom B or Switch C, that may not be in their playlist. That may not be their culpability. And you're just not going to be able to achieve that with them. So I think that not only becomes a space where you have to have a conversation with that party, but also within yourself as what do I want to achieve from this dynamic? And that's where the realism has to kick in because what do you want to achieve within this dynamic? If I'm leaving dynamic A, or even I want to expand on dynamic A and add in dynamic B, or I'm leaving dynamic A to find dynamic B. Hi, Desi.
I just want to
But
let you know I can move you.
Oh, we didn't. I just noticed that. I was like, wait.
it
I'm like,
becomes though
yay!
like how, what do you want to achieve? And you have to take the time within yourself and figure that out. One, I think as a person going into the dynamic, what do you want to achieve? And I think that those conversations that we have with ourselves consistently
Mm,
as the relationship or the dynamic evolves, am I still receiving what I want? Am I still able to give what they want? And vice versa? Because despite what, the synopsis wants to believe, every person at all times, if they are healthy and, living, is ever changing to some degree, which means that the sub I was in 2000, 19 is not the sub I am in 22.
Yes.
And even the sub I was in September 22 may not be the sub I am in November 22.
Yeah.
Hell, the sub I was on October 25th might not be the sub I am today.
Facts.
I get that. The thing for me,
So I think that those conversations, you have to, one, be able to be honest with
there
yourself,
you go. That's what I was
and
getting
then
to.
be honest with your counterparts, however that may be. Like, even as you said earlier, Desi, yes, you are absolutely my sapio partner
Hmm.
in every aspect of the term. However, there are some aspects of your life that I can't necessarily enter with you. Just
Hmm.
like there are aspects of mine that, aren't necessarily where I need you to be.
Right, and that's the
And
mutual respect and understanding.
exactly. And that may even change on a day to day basis. There may be some things
Yeah,
that I've talked to you about before that I no longer want to discuss with you.
and
Or
that's
there may
totally
be some
fine with
things
me.
that we have excuse me, I'm sorry, that we may have done, and not you and I, but I'm saying within the bounds of a physical relationship,
Hmm.
there may have been things that we have done physically that no longer interest me or no longer bring me the gratification that they previously had. And if we don't have the comfortability and don't have that space and don't have that communication level to actually advocate for ourselves, then that's where the malfunction comes in any dynamic.
Yeah,
That's so true.
I actually had to talk to Lily about some things with one of my partners that he never felt comfortable with, and both of us got upset actually about it because it was like, mm, okay, there was some underlying issues that had to do with this person, and after we talked to them, we made them understand that this is okay. You know what I mean? And this is part of the kink community because a lot of us in the kink community, especially people that look like us, we are made to feel weird or made to feel like what we want or what we desire is not okay. And that pisses me off to a highest degree. Um,
That part.
and Lily is one of those people that I can sit here and talk to. And it's not that I can't talk to all of y'all, but it's certain dynamics about this specific relationship that only she knows. Um, and it was very hard to express that to her. However, she understood where I was coming from. And if I was wrong in my assessment, she would have told me, and I trusted her to tell me that. Um,
And I have.
and you have, yes, you have. And I said, you know what, you're right. I have always accepted her advice as, you're right, you got it. Because sometimes I may think too hard or I overanalyze things. Um, and it's not to overanalyze as if the kink was not okay with me. It was to just understand where I needed to come from at the certain angle to love my partner the way I needed to. You know what I mean?
We
Sometimes,
sometimes are guilty of inserting ourselves
mm-hmm.
into our partner's kink.
I can't put myself in the place where I think that they should be because I have to understand that at one point I was where they were in my kink journey and still learning my kink journey. And not only am I proud of this person, but they have learned to love me in a totally different way and explored some things about themselves that I never thought that they would because of their upbringing, and it has to do with religion and being in certain environments. And I thought at one point that I was like, oh my goodness gracious, am I pulling them out of the element so much they're not being themselves anymore? I thought that at one
Mhm.
point in time. Um, this person said, no, that's not true. This is something that I always wanted to do. I just didn't have the person to do it with. I didn't know how to examine this or understand myself in this way. Um, and so I'm glad that this person and I have reached a point of communicating, even when it hurts, about not only kinks but communication in relationships and things, and that the communication in that when it hurts, when you like this may hurt my partner, but I'm going to be honest with them, that creates a different dynamic because then I can trust you in a different way.
Yeah.
Because I understand that even though you know that I might not like it, you don't want to lie to me, and that I know that I can trust you in different ways. Kind of like Nate said, I only trust certain people certain ways. Let me tell you something. This person, the trust is there, and it became there as we grew, and it was not easy, but it wasn't hard either. It was evolution for the both of us. They didn't make it hard. I didn't make it hard. However, it wasn't easy because I realized we were coming from two different dynamics and we had to meet in the middle. And when we decided that that's what we wanted and we decided to make a decision with one another, it made it so much easier between us that now even difficult decisions don't even seem difficult. A lot of conversations that people with kinks have is being judged for, I would like to do this, or I would like to try this with you. And I understand that most people in monogamous relationships can't even tell their partner that they want to try to be spanked or this and the third, and they're not even really in the full kinkster world. They just want to try like the basic, like the low level, small things. Hey, I want to try something a little kinky tonight, you know, just to spice up our relationship, and they don't even feel comfortable to say that to their partner, and that pains me because it's like you're laying with this person every night or you're in a relationship with this person, and I wish that you would feel comfortable with them. I don't have a partner, not a one, that I couldn't tell them that I want to do something with them, and they wouldn't say, "Hey, okay," or "I'm not comfortable with that," and I wouldn't be like, "All right, that's fine with me." And that's just not the case. A lot of people are so sexually suppressed that they don't they that they when we say what we say about the things that we may or may not do in the bedroom, if we just decide to divulge that, they find it weird, or they find it demonic, or you're doing too much, or you're inviting such and such into your bedroom. It's like, are we really? Or are we really saying? It's kind of like, you remember years ago when that song came out where it was like, a woman was like, I want to come. You remember that? It's a lot of people that feel that way about kinks. It's very hard for a lot of people to express themselves because they feel like they should be at this level and they shouldn't have the right to say, I don't really like this. I want to try something else with you, because they feel like they'll be judged, and that sucks ass. I hate it because I be saying stuff. I'm gonna say stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's something I can relate to
We
because
know.
my upbringing, I really can relate to that because I grew up in a really pious family, like not even just my immediate family, my family in its entirety, going down
Mm-hmm.
to people I ain't never damn met in Mississippi. It's everybody. So like sex was just very obscene is what how it was displayed, that it's only for marriage, that it's only between a man and a woman. And for me, I always felt so guilty growing up because I had all these thoughts and these feelings, these reactions to certain things, certain sounds, like certain body movements that would just trigger me in a way that I would feel guilty. Like I'm like, damn, I'm a heathen. I'm going to hell because every time you open the book, that's what it says. It constantly is telling you what you're doing wrong, but never tells you how to do it right. And so I always felt just really, I guess the best way to say is like depressed because I didn't know who I was, and I was trying to be what they wanted me to be, and I always felt like I was like left out, like something wasn't right. I always felt different and I knew I was different. And getting older and then actually being married, I got to ask and be honest and be like, hey, can we try these things? And because that person was okay with doing those things, it did give me a chance to learn about myself.
Mm-hmm.
But gosh forbid if I would have been with someone who wasn't as open with being comfortable with learning who I am and learning my body and wanting to know about me, because then I wouldn't know. And that scares me looking back. Like, damn, I could really be sitting here still having like the most vanilla of sex, just crazy vanilla. Like, I'm no sprinkles, nothing, no banana slices, nothing, just plain ass vanilla ice cream, half melted, half melted, because that's what it was. And that shit makes me so scared, but so excited for the future also, because you never know what you'll learn about yourself from having different partners.
Yeah.
And like that's why I think poly is so beautiful, because I could have a boyfriend or a husband and then go on a date with my boyfriend, and my boyfriend does something new that sparks this energy in me, and I want to try it now with my husband. Now my husband's looking at me like, God damn, where do you learn that shit at? Like, don't worry about it.
I feel like mind your business.
Mind your business,
But
just enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
Mind your
enjoy it.
business. The
Oh, and
thing,
Peter said, what's up?
right?
right.
Right. He said,
But okay, so look, like
What's up?
my first partner, like I told you, my first partner was a woman. My first partner is actually a practicing, like touring evangelist right now.
Oh,
Yeah, so
cool.
even though it was what would be considered a traditional lesbian relationship, my first partner was extremely pious, extremely biblical, and I was very confused because I'm like, sis,
Right.
I don't think we biblical right now.
Right. You can't be eating the coochie out in the name of the Lord.
I'm saying because okay, and she was actually one of those ones who would like weaponize it because every time it didn't
agreed.
go their way,
Agreed.
it became, well, the good book says XYZ, and that defeats the whole purpose of this dynamic or this relationship for me, because
Mhm.
if you're supposed to be so quote unquote holy or whatever, first of all, everything you did to me last night was a whole ass sin and I loved it.
Pick
So
a
that's
side.
number one.
You're like, pick a side, ma'am. Pick a
I
side.
mean, that was. I
And
mean, if you say holiness and whole ass sin, if you just like replace a couple letters,
I'm just saying, because I know when I was doing what
I'm
I was
saying.
doing to you, because you said that you liked it, you was definitely calling on the name of Jesus. And I just want to know why I can't take you to church on a regular basis, is all I'm saying. So I
No, right.
had to laugh because, you know, I think especially when religion is brought into it, there are a lot of people who
Yeah.
are hindered because what they feel
Oh, very much.
their
Oh,
religion is
very
supposed to
much
be.
so.
And I'm saying this, like I've told y'all plenty of times, as a third generation PK. When I tell y'all I know that book in and out and up and down and backwards and forwards, I do. Does that mean that I'm living my life according to it? No. Mm-mm. No, I'm not. However, as somebody who again does know that same book upside down, underwater, and backwards, we can have a whole other day because it is almost 11 o'clock and I don't want to go into your personal time, Des. But we can have a whole other talk how most of that book is actually non-monogamous,
Very much so.
Not
The
only
whole
and
first
poly.
testament.
non-monogamous, but also into kinks. Very, very. But I can't
Like
count
we
how many
can go and I can pull out scriptures, books, couples, couplings,
some of them deacons,
separations, and
them deacons that be counting
yeah.
that money at the front. They be wanting to get spanked on Saturday night. Just gonna say.
Listen, I'm even talking about the ones that's actually in the written word. A lot of them
Yes.
joints is
Yes.
we can go into some things, honestly. But I don't want to go into that right now because your time is limited. But what I'm saying though is I feel like especially those ones who want to thump the Bible at you as a defense mechanism,
Hmm.
Mm.
one, don't really know the word that they thumping, because like I said, I can bring receipts because they in there.
Mm.
Two, why are you hiding behind something that you obviously don't understand that much?
Yeah.
Because you feel like it's what you're supposed to do, or because you are so ingrained in what your grandmama said while your grandfather was beating her ass and raping her, and that's why you got 13 aunts and uncles.
Well, it's not. That's not a lie.
I'm
It's not.
gonna I'm
Because
gonna
I'm
allow
saying, because let's
final
call it
thought.
what it is.
I'm gonna allow final thoughts because I gotta get naked.
Ooh,
Okay, final thoughts. I'm sorry.
I gotta get naked for Spartan.
ooh, I'm
Yay!
jealous. I'm jealous.
Wait. Let me pull a shark though. Fix or it didn't happen.
I'm weak. He would say that. All right, Rocco.
I hate that I missed the first half of it, but are we doing one tomorrow night too?
I'm doing Polly talk tomorrow.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'll
I'll
be
be
on TT though. Little auntie.
okay. I'll be
Okay.
present.
Okay.
Rocco, your voice and I still go together.
A whole thing.
We still go
I didn't.
together real bad.
Real bad.
Real bad.
No, this
Marley,
was a good.
Yes, ma'am.
what you got to say, sugar?
I'm actually upset that I got in here a little late myself. Uh,
Well, okay. Here's what we're gonna do. Cause Spartan gonna be here on shit. I need to confirm. Let me not say that. Spartan will be here soon. So I will confirm with y'all when we have another Kink talk. Y'all know I got to go to the con with Pickles and Panda this weekend.
Mhm. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, be a supportive girlfriend here. Uh,
I
so
said what I said.
I
In the tone that she said. It was the tone mostly.
it wasn't that. It's just I don't know what to expect. I don't know how long these things last, and
you gonna have it's fun. They fun.
I won't be
It's
dressed,
dope.
so I don't know what. Anyway, I'm gonna eat some.
Hey, Nay, I gotta call you in the graveyard because I gotta show you something.
I'm gonna be eating.
Oh, okay.
All right. Okay.
Right.
Love you guys very much. Thank you guys for coming to my King Talk. I will see you guys
Yay!
tomorrow on Poly Talk. We will be on Auntie.
What
With special
time?
8 p.m. Eastern. We'll be with who the special guest is. So love you very much. I'm tired of these clothes. I've been in long sleeves for 2 hours.
Ooh, that's too long.
It's very
That's
ghetto.
overdone
It's
for
very
you.
ghetto. I
Okay,
don't
it's
like that.
11. Bye,
First of all,
baby.
I put on a bra. Y'all know I don't even put on clothes.
Love
All right.
you.
I love you. Bye.
Later, Des.
Bye.